SSH remotely, it means we are deploying on cloud, and if we perform SSH directly on customer's machine, then it will be on-prem deployment. Currently, I am doing on-prem deployment through installer on Ubuntu 22.04 version, as it is way lengthy or tougher process. So after performing SSH, we will go from simple user to root user. After reaching to root user, the first thing to do is check the specs. First, check the CPUs using command lscpu, and it showed that we have 8 CPUs. After that, check VM's RAM and storage. The total memory is around 400 megabytes are being used, from 15.6 gigabytes. It means this VM has 16 gigabytes RAM. To check storage, we will write df-h. It will show all details. If a client asks why they assigned 2 terabytes to VM but see only 64 gigabytes, so you will write lsblk and it will show all the drive. I have connected only one device, so I am getting 1. So if client has connected multiple disks, then SDB will be visible under SDA. You should explain that the drive is connected, but not yet mounted under the root directory. To fix this, you need to allocate the unused drive space so that it becomes visible under the root directory. Deployment through OVF is the simplest way. First, download the configuration files and import it in your hypervisor and create a virtual machine through HE guide of pictures in the manual. Once the machine is set up, it should be run and get its access, then provided a static IP address, so it will not change afterwards. At the end of files, you are provided with default credentials of VM, if you are doing setup through OVF, and the method how to assign static IP for fresh deployment, as in my case I am deploying on a Azure VM, it will automatically assign a static IP, so manual configuration is not required in my case. However, if deploying on a customer's on-premises infrastructure, you will need to manually assign a static IP. To assign the IP, you will navigate to required directory using the command mentioned in the file. Go to file named 00 and edit it with the this content in the manual file. From here, assign the IP and gateway according to customer network environment and save it. After assigning the IP, check for the disk provisioning. The disk should then be mounted correctly to ensure visibility under the system and verify all the requested resources are assigned to the machine. Once this is done, deploy the setup and wait until it is completed, verify CPU and memory allocation, and ensure all resources are utilized efficiently. Now you will use the IP you have assigned to the machine previously in the browser to open ThreatHawk dashboard. The second thing is when you are doing a fresh deployment using the installer. For that, you just need to enter this command. The steps for this are already mentioned here. You should also check the CPU usage and other related details. I have already explained this part earlier. Next, we move to the point of where to download the installer. We will download the installer from here. You just need to copy this command and paste it into your command line session, where you have established an SSH connection with Ubuntu. Once pasted, press Enter, and it will download the installer. After downloading, we need to run it. However, the installer will not run directly because it is just a simple file. We need to grant it execution permissions. All the steps for this are mentioned in the manual. To do this, we will change its permissions using chmod +X. +X will grant executable permissions to the file. Type the file name and press Enter. Now, we verify it by running ls again. If the file name appears in green, it means the executable permissions have been assigned. Next, we run the installer directly. As soon as you run it, it will show you options indicating the required arguments. You need to specify what you want to install. For example, if you want to install ThreatHawk, you will specify that. After ThreatHawk, you can install NetFlows. To restart all configurations, restart all back-end and front-end services. To do this, you will use command installer --reset. This command will restart all services. Now, our first step is to install ThreatHawk. To do this, we will run command installer --install. Press enter, and the installation process will begin. It will download all necessary services from the server, and the deployment will be So, our deployment is now complete, and ThreatHawk has been successfully installed. Next, we need to check if all the ports are running properly. To do this, we use the command netstat lntup. You can see here that we need to check whether the ports are open. The relevant ports are 7000, 8080, 80, and 22. Ports 1514 and 1515 are required for communication between agent and server to forward logs on it. Next, we check port 443, which is used for ThreatHawk to run in the browser, and navigate to the directory where all ThreatHawk files are stored. The directory is etc license dashboard. We have now entered the dashboard, so what do we have to do? We need to upgrade Python to version 3.11, so we need to go to this link and download the script from there. Now we copy this and go to the test folder, and here we paste what we copied from manual. Then we type wget https cybersilo.tech python 3-upgrade.sh. So we have downloaded it now. After downloading, we need to run it. You can run it directly from bash as well. Bash python 3-upgrade.sh. Now, what will this do? It will upgrade it to version 3.11. So, now it has been upgraded. Now, regarding the error that appeared earlier, I will explain that to you. So, what you need to do is check the manual. The manual states that after this step, you need to navigate to etc license dashboard. Once there, you have to run this command. So, what is happening right now? It is still showing Python 3.8. This means that its cache is still loaded with version 3.8, and its packages are also loaded. Now you have to refresh its cache. Here, you need to run pip3 install-r requirements.txt --ignore installed. This will remove the previously installed packages from the cache and reload the new ones. Now, after reloading, we go back to the manual. The manual now states what to do next. pip3 install uwsgi. So, you run this command. This package has now been installed. Now you go back to the test folder because the installer is located there. So, you go into the test folder, and from there, reset the installer. After this, the NetFlow scenario remains. Since NetFlow is quite lengthy and takes more time, we are skipping it for now. The NetFlow OWL-H includes a service called Zeek, which takes approximately 40 to 45 minutes to install. Now let me explain how you will set up NetFlow. We are currently in the ThreatHawk directory where all its files are stored. We need to go back to the main directory where the installer was downloaded. Once in that directory, run the installer command. It will show you all the available options. Now run the command, installer doable-netflow, and then the option you want to select. We select all to install everything. Run the command and press enter, and the NetFlow setup will begin. Once the NetFlow installation is complete, you can follow this manual again for further steps. This manual includes all instructions from setup to installation and ensures that the logs generated by OWL-H will appear in the dashboard. ThreatHawk is already integrated with NetFlow, meaning that once setup is complete, it will automatically start forwarding logs for monitoring and analysis.
Get to know about us by visiting our website and follow us on YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn.